On this episode of Battle Talk, BlackRock Foundry opens, Joystick is shutting down, and Dustin Browder talks some more hero stuff. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Battle Talk. This is episode 34. I'm your host, Mike, also known as Thilladrin, and we got some interesting stuff for you this week. Joining me, as usual, Cody. Stop picking your nose. And Dom.
What's going on?
I wasn't picking my nose.
I know you weren't.
Scratching my nose.
I've been tormented throughout my life for scratching my nose so many times with that. I mean, see, look, I'm clearly scratching, but, you know. So what's up, guys? How was your week?
It was good.
How?
I'm just going to continue to do this right now.
I already killed the world boss, Rookmar.
Oh, you did too?
And,
I'm surprised you did.
and I already got my heroic Highball in for the week. And I got a heroic axe off of the twins, so I'm super happy.
Let's see, my day. I got home, killed heroic Rookmar. Heroic. He's not even heroic. Killed Rookmar, which sucked. Felt like it should have been heroic, but idiotic.
So we had this little incident. Some noob pulled Rookmar into Axefall when I was playing. I don't know. I was flying in, and Rookmar aggroed me. So it was coming in on my wings. What?
That noob was this guy.
Yeah, me. Maybe. I was flying in with the wings, and I flew right through Rookmar, not even paying attention. Rookmar aggroed me. I landed in Axefall. He landed next to me. Infinite guards started spawning to attack him, and it lagged the server out. We DC'd like 3 times just from horrendous lag, and we eventually got him. No mount. Very upset about that.
Very upset. Yeah, I got no mount. I got nothing. I got double gold. And he has some pretty good gear for me, so
I got legs, so I can't complain. I needed legs. That was my lowest eye level piece, so
I need legs too.
yeah.
I didn't get the legs. So, new stuff this week. BlackRock Foundry.
Yeah,
Open today.
it sure did. You see who's behind me?
I see who's behind you. Is that...
It's Captain Hook.
That's Captain Hook. Also known as Gruul.
Mm-hmm.
Alternate timeline Gruul.
Yes.
No dragons to kill, didn't become the dragon killer. He sucks. I don't know if he sucks. I haven't fought him yet.
Have you actually looked at the fight yet, though?
I have looked at the fight. It's very reminiscent of the old Gruul encounter.
It's very nostalgic, to say the least.
They definitely did good with the nostalgia factor with the, the shatter and all that fun stuff. But now he does a lovely Inferno Slice, which is lots of fire damage in front of him, split among the rage. So stack in front of him.
Yeah.
Not really stack in front of him. Tanks have to start moving.
Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty straightforward and easy fight, though.
I mean, I like the little backstory that they gave to him. In the Dungeon Journal, it says Garrosh knew that the surest path to breaking the Gruul lay in subjugating their great father, Gruul. Known in another time as the Dragon Killer, here Gruul has been reduced to the role of menial laborer. In a cruel mockery of the Shattered Hand's warrior tradition, his hand has been replaced with a hook to enable him to easily haul pallets of fuel to the furnace.
That poor guy.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
He's once a great Dragon Killer, and now he's fucking coal shoveler.
Now he's
Coal
dead
shoveler.
in 2 timelines.
He's going to be dead in 2 timelines, yeah.
He certainly is.
Well, we'll get back to more BlackRock Foundry as the show moves on. So, a couple things to talk about right now. So, a little rumor, going around out there is that StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, might be releasing a bit sooner than expected. According to an insider, the game is already complete, and the company is waiting on the right time to release, which may be second quarter of this year.
Ooh, I better get started then.
Now, is that a bit sooner than you guys were expecting?
It was 100% sooner than I was expecting. I thought I still had some time because I haven't played the campaign yet of either of the first two games, Wings of Liberty or uh,
Heart of the
Heart
Swarm.
of the Swarm.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yes, we'll go with that.
They're both hots, right?
No, we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah. No, but I need to play. I need to play through the campaigns because I'm not going to be playing multiplayer. That's not my thing for StarCraft. But I definitely want to play through the single player campaign and see where that goes.
Yeah, they're great campaigns. I don't blame you for wanting to do that. But
I have both of them on a collector's edition so far, so you can guarantee you I will be buying the collector's edition for the third one as well. As far as I know, they haven't announced it yet, but they're going to.
of course they're going to. They're going to be like, oh, look at the shinies in this collector's edition, the last expansion for StarCraft 2.
Yeah, they can't possibly not give us one after giving us the first two.
Of course. They always give collector's editions, and they'll always nice. Always be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least
you
I didn't
really
get
think about
tongue-tied in the intro.
If you really think about it, it's really not that early. How long has Heart of the Swarm has been out for quite a while now? It's been probably almost 2 years.
Yeah, you're right. It has been a while.
If you think about it, okay. When I was at BlizzCon, everybody I talked to said it's hard to release games at Blizzard because of overlap.
Mhm.
They don't want to take steam off of their own games, which makes perfect sense.
Right.
So January was the release of the closed beta for Heroes of the Storm, which is doing fairly well. This month isn't going to be this month is Warcraft with 6.1 and Black Foundry. Next month, for March, doesn't look like anything yet. I could probably predict maybe Overwatch or something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then April is what we're going to get to here in a bit, is rumored to be the next Hearthstone expansion.
Which is pretty quick. Second expansion when the first one just released.
I don't think it's going to be an expansion.
Couple
Everybody's
months
like expansion. It's going to be another adventure, if anything.
I'm gonna-
That wasn't the first Curse of Naxxramas. That was not an expansion. So
Yeah.
it's like 0.5. Look at it like AQ was. Everybody that was tier 2.5. So this will be expansion 1.5 if you want to get into technicalities. I'm guessing Old War. That's my hope.
I would hope for Old War 2. And the rumors flying around this is, it says that the next expansion will be based on a PvE experience this time around. Again, lends itself towards the adventure thing. It may be released as soon as April, which is pretty quick. And the team is said to already be working on a 2v2 game mode.
Yeah, the last interview that we had with them, they said that it currently was not in development, but that's something that you could really easily, do. So.
Well, and it's also something that the community's been asking for. So it's not like Blizzard's going to say, well, no, we're not going to do it because we don't want to. Just like Heroes, Hearthstone is very community driven. So if the community wants it, Blizzard will take the time to research it and make sure it works correctly before they even put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I would like to see actual raids in the game too, instead of giving us like the single player content, which is fun and all. I would love to see like a group, even like a dungeon. Like you don't have to get 40 people, 25 people, 10 people. Get like 5 people, and go into like Old War. And you got 5 guys against the boss that does a ridiculous amount of damage, spawns a ridiculous amount of ads, like something that you could not solo, but you could do as a team,
Group content on Hearthstone.
I like the idea. I do like the idea of kind of bringing that 5-man instance runs into a new, different game. I almost want to say 5. We're 75 million people playing. It doesn't seem like 5 is a lot, but personally, I think 5's too many. I think 3 would be like
a good number.
3 seems like it'd be a better number just because for matchmaking purposes, now you're not looking for a group of 5. You're only looking for a group of 3. You don't need that many people. to jump in.
So, yeah, 3 seems to be an easier to manage number as well.
Plus, I mean,
Yeah.
you also got to think about if you do this matchmaking system, do you do it like Heroes is, where you already pick your deck, and it puts you into the right comp, or do you group with your friends, go into Ulduar, and pick your decks then around the boss?
I'd say that you probably pick it around the boss, because it's a little different than playing Heroes, because Heroes, you have to have a team composition.
Yeah.
In Hearthstone, there's no tank roles, there's no specialists or anything like that. It's just, they're all damage. Everything is. So,
Yeah, well, I mean that's true too, but I mean, each hero has its own special ability though, and I mean they could almost make it to where, certain bosses in Ulduar do certain abilities that, oh well, a mage deck is perfect to counter this, like it's his fireball is perfect for it, or we need Garrosh as the warrior because he can stack as much armor as he can to take this massive damage from another boss. So I mean, they could take this so many different ways to make it really interesting and fun to play. But I definitely think that it'd be really cool for them to have the players pick, say, 3 decks, and then boom, you go in, and based off the boss you play, you pick one of your 3 decks, and you coordinate with the other 2 players and say, hey, I'm going to play Malfurion for healing, or Garrosh for the warrior side, or Shaman because I want to place totems to help out. It could be a very ambitious project when you think about it.
Yes,
yeah, and that's kind of what I was looking for in the adventures. That's what I was hoping, that it was going to at least be 2v2 content, at the minimum, which I was not disappointed with Naxxramas, but the thing that I found with it is there wasn't a lot of replayability. There was no, like, you finish it on normal, you unlock all the cards. Then you beat it once on heroic, you get the card back. Then there's no reason to go back to Nax ever again. Even just, like, throwing some dailies at us or something like that would be nice to go in there to just get back into it, to see it again. But even, like, you have friends that want to do it, so even if there's no additional rewards, just having friends that are like, hey, I need some help on heroic. You mind coming? That's still kind of incentive to go back,
Yeah, it definitely is.
So,
also, on the Hearthstone note, while we're talking about it, if you haven't reached rank 20, January's passed, you missed the lovely Murad-themed card back. However, this month, they're sticking to a nice centralized theme with all of their games. The Lunar Festival card back for Hearthstone.
I already hit rank 20. I'm good.
Yeah, that's nice. Hit rank 20 by the end of February, and you get this lovely, lovely card.
It's very panda.
It is very zen.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I didn't read the text along with it, and I was like, we already got a Pandaren card. And then I was like, oh wait, Lunar Festival. Okay. They probably could have done a little better job making it look Lunar Festival-y, if that's even a word.
That's alright.
Make it look like one of their lanterns or something.
Put a giant moon on it.
Yeah. But looks cool.
It does look cool, but card back. I've missed like the last 6 of them.
Yeah.
I've missed the last none of them.
Yeah. Anyway, big news in the WoW community right now. As you've probably heard before me telling you this, Joystick is shutting down. That affects WoW Insider and Massively. You've probably heard of them. This was a decision from their parent company, AOL. Yay! I believe they're closing...
AOL's still around. It's miraculous in and of itself. So.
I believe they're closing all websites and, of the sort. What would you call it? A blog site? I don't know what you would call it. But big news.
Either way, they have no interest in it.
They have no interest in it. It's done. For them, I don't know. They thought it was a financial black hole or something. Who knows what their minds were thinking. But
it's AOL. They don't
think.
even need to say more than that.
Exactly. So, they're gone. They're going away. WoW Insider and Massively are now going to have a name change. They're now going to be known as Blizzard Watch for WoW Insider and Massively OP. You can guess.
For Massively? No, it's for Engadget, isn't it?
It's for Engadget. Great. So, on that note, we have a Twitter question from Total Deletion. What did WoW Insider mean to you, and what do you want/expect from Blizzard Watch?
Mine's gonna be pretty quick.
Go for it.
Never really went to the site. I more or less stuck with MMO Champion and Wowhead. So, I mean, personally, it doesn't mean very much to me just because I really rarely went to the site for anything. But, Blizzard Watch, it's another fan site for Warcraft. It's nice that they found, another place to keep doing what they're doing that they love to do. Will I go to that site to check stuff out? I don't know. Maybe I may stop in every once in a while, but it's not going to be like my main source of Warcraft news.
And unfortunately, I'm on the same boat as Cody right there. I bounced around between all of the World of Warcraft information sites. We occasionally go to WoW Insider, use MMO Champion and Wowhead for most of it. Mostly MMO Champion, because it's just the quickest for me.
Each of them are their own little kind of difference.
They have their own tidbits.
You have MMO Champion, right, which is just straight up facts. Like, there's no opinion-based article. It's just, here's all the stuff that's coming out, and it lays it out in kind of like a list format. Then you go to Wowhead, and it's kind of like a hybridization between the list format and opinion-based kind of news sort of stuff. Almost like a guide structure. And then you had WoW Insider, which is more like the articles, and it's more, the editorials and that kind of stuff. And I used to use WoW Insider a lot for like my lore information. I used to go there and read and find out the whole backstory every week. They would post a different section of, like, I remember reading a thing about the Scythe of Elune there. Like, that was like some huge, like, where is it kind of like, is it hidden in the game? Way back. It was vanilla, back when, like, the Ashbringer was, like, this thing where it's like, oh, can you go fishing? Can you fish up Ashbringer? And is it in Dire Maul? They're talking about it, like... So they were one of those rumor kind of, like... I don't want to say it was, like, propaganda kind of rumor, but it was one of those interesting kind of rumors where it's like, is it in the game? Back before everything was, like, known about this game ever, but...
Yeah.
I enjoyed WoW Insider a lot more back then than I have recently. In the last couple of years, I have not actually even been to WoW Insider, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's kind of the nature in which the game progressed. So
yeah, Phaedrus in chat says he loved WoW Insider's tinfoil hat stuff, and I have to agree with him. That's pretty much all I would go there for. I mean, MMO Champion, as you said, is straight facts, and usually I only have time for a quick read. Just get the information and then go about my business. But they did do some crazy good lore stuff.
Yeah, that was the best part about the site, was all the lore stuff. There's really nothing like that anymore.
No, there really isn't. I do wish them the best, though, because they did do great work, and I expect more of the same out of Blizzard Watch. That's it. So yeah, that.
When I just real quick, when I heard about Blizzard Watch, I thought for a second that Blizzard had changed Overwatch's name to Blizzwatch.
That would have been amazing. I don't know. Anyway, on to some World of Warcraft stuff.
That's what happens when I skim things.
That's what happens when you skin things.
Skim.
You skin
like
stuff
skim
too.
milk.
Yeah. So, new stuff in WoW. Blackrock Foundry, we already mentioned.
There's not. There's no new
nothing.
stuff.
Nothing. 6.1 is not live, by the way.
What?
Thought we should mention that.
You lie.
I know. I lied. So, are you guys excited for Blackrock? Like,
yes.
entirely?
So my birthday is this Friday.
No.
And our raid is Friday, so I'm purposely not doing anything for my birthday so I could come to the raid. That's how excited I am for Blackrock Foundry.
Your raid leader is excited that you're going to be there now.
That's good.
Oh, God.
I can just tell.
Oh God, how is the raid gonna troll me on my birthday? I don't even want to know. Don't do it.
I definitely watched some of the fights going on. I watched Gruul from a veteran guild running normal mode, and I watched the other one, the next fight, which I don't remember which one that's called. It's where the boss he'll literally roll around the map or the board. And literally, he's like, the first phase is you don't stand in shit. That's the first entire phase.
Yep.
The next phase is you don't get hit by shit while you kill shit. That's the entire fight. That's it. That's the entire fight. Phase 1, don't stand in shit. Phase 2, don't get hit by shit and kill shit. That's it. If you don't get that, we got more problems. And Gruul's Gruul. Gruul is the same fight that it was, what, 4 years ago?
Gruul is Gruul.
Gruul is Gruul, and that was more than 4
Gruul.
years ago. That was like 6 years ago, maybe more.
DC, 6 years ago then? It's the same fight. You just add one thing. It's the flame slash thing. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Do we still have Cave-In? Is that still a thing?
I believe Cave-In is still a
yes,
thing.
it's still in there.
Okay.
I think...
And that's an insta-kill, by the way, so if you get hit by it, I feel bad for you.
I did not see Cave-In the dungeon journal, so that's why.
I think it's named something else, but it's in his second phase.
Gotcha.
It's not really a second phase. It's like his second set of abilities.
Yeah, it is. He does have Cave-In. It is.
And
Still
it's an insta kill. So if you died to it, our raid leader's gonna freak.
Who? No.
No.
We have the most relaxed, laid-back raid leader that I've.
He's totally chill.
He does. He's very chill.
So
especially when he doesn't talk.
Yeah, right. Out of the first few bosses, where do you think we're gonna have the most trouble?
The first one.
Okay, are you counting the first one as Gruul or Gorger?
No, Gruul's the first boss.
You don't necessarily have to do him first.
No, Gruul's the first boss.
You think we're gonna have
Gruul's the first boss.
We're gonna have the most trouble with Gruul.
With Gruul.
Maybe.
Realistically, I'm thinking.
Realistically, we won't one-shot him. I can tell you right now, we won't one-shot him.
Yes, we will.
No. Realistically, we will not.
We're gonna cheese that fight. It's gonna be Gruul cheese.
Whatever. I'm with him right now. Yeah, you know, Geach, thank you.
If realistically, if everyone's on the ball, we could one-shot him. Unfortunately, I don't think we will one-shot him. It'd be nice, but it'll take a couple attempts.
As Geach says in chat, killing spree on Cave-In bets. He's going to die to Cave-In due to killing spree.
100%. That's not even a question. It's going to happen at some point. Killing spree is appropriately named because every time I use it, I die.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Me personally, I think Blast Furnace is going to give us some issues.
Blast Furnace in general.
We need a lot of
that's going to be the pug killer. So you're going to see a lot of the Blackrock Foundry groups losing to the Blast Furnace.
Yeah, that just seems like an overly complicated fight. A lot of 3 phases. A lot of multi-target, a lot of ads, different mechanics to watch out for each phase. That's, like you said, the pug killer. It's going to be the raid tester right there.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be like the new butcher.
It's going to be the make his hair fall out.
Not necessarily a gear check per se, but it's definitely going to be a mechanic check. Making sure that you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did heroic high mall on a pug, so.
It's because high mall's a cake now. It's essentially pretty easy.
Surprisingly, the most trouble we had was on the twin.
That's
the easiest fight, though. It's all dodging mechanics.
Yeah, that's not that surprising. And, speaking of...
We had a group of 25 in the pug. We 2-shot Tectis. We 1-shot all the rest of the bosses. And then we wiped 3 times on the twins, and then we dropped it down to a 10-man and 1-shot it.
That gets me, because twins was one of the easiest bosses, heroics, to get for us.
Easiest boss to get through.
This made me think of something, you're mentioning that. If you haven't heard, also this week, Ask Mr. Robot released a new feature. I forget what the heck they called it. It's like basically you take logs, just like Warcraft logs, and you upload them there, and it analyzes it and gives you infographics and things based on the fights, and it tells you, it rates you on a scale of 0 to 10, how you did, how your raid did overall, what your damage was, how you are compared to all the, other raids and raiders out there who uploaded logs, how much avoidable damage you took, and it basically gives you some great tools to determine what went wrong, and how you can do better.
It is called Combat Infographic.
Yes, Combat Infographic. I was playing around with it for about a half hour the other day, and based on... We had logs up. I didn't know someone uploaded them, but we had logs up there for our last week, Friday and Saturday. So I looked at myself, see how I did. So on Twins, for example. On Twins, short of the tank taking the whirlwind, I took the least amount of avoidable damage. I got a 9.9 out of 10, and I'm in 95th percentile of DPS on that fight. Then we go to Tectis. I took the most avoidable damage, more than the next two raiders combined.
It's because you're colorblind and can't see the goddamn clouds.
I took 1.8 million avoidable damage on Tectis. I suck. But yeah, I love that tool. I mean, have you guys played around with it at all?
I'm not doing that right now. I'm not sure about.
I have not.
He's totally not
simply
doing that.
because I actually don't even use Ask Mr. Robot. I may now that I know that's a feature, but rogues have their own Shadowcraft we use, so we don't use Mr. Robot for like stat weights and finding out gear and all that. So
Well, yeah, see, this is something, I don't know how to describe it. It's just an overload of information about your raid and what you did.
Yeah.
And I mean, overall, I think our raid was rated on Twins a 6.9 out of 10. And this is overall performance, and it bases it on damage you do, how much damage you took, how well you did the mechanics. Interrupting Shout and Enfeebling Roar are both big mechanics right there. And your potion usage. And that's a big one. If you don't use potions, you get a 0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's an average of multiple scores, and it averages in a 0 if you forget to use potions.
Does it also factor in if you've pre-potted?
Yes, it counts pre-pots, so you can have 2 in there. And, yeah, it's just a lot of info, and I wish I had more to talk about it, but it's a nifty little tool. You could find it on Ask Mr. Robot when you load up your character from your armory page, and it's pretty good. I like it.
I'll have to check it out.
It's something I wanted to add in to talk about tonight, and I forgot to, and it just hit me when you were talking about Heroic Twins and how much trouble you had on it.
So from what I get, this is going to give me a great tool to look at everyone for our raid leader to look at everyone in our raid after each fight and scream at them because they didn't pot.
Oh wait, you're the raid leader?
Because they got a 0.
I was just talking shit about our raid leader. I totally forgot.
It's going to give you a lot of tools to tell who's fucking up what.
Sweet!
Because you can compare the whole raid's performance against a single character. And then you go to the avoidable damage section.
I'm going to continuously... Or our raid leader is going to continue.
You uncheck all the options, and then, like, okay, let's see who took more damage from the fire. So you click the blaze, and then it shows you the damage taken by every raid member from blaze.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Grumbello already took...
He did not take the most. Believe it or not.
It was just a then.
No, who was it?
I don't take any. Well, I might take a little bit, but like I usually sprint through all the fire and then cloak, so it's not even a thing.
And then I looked at Heroic Karag, and the avoidable damage on that fight, everybody did really good in our multiple attempts at avoiding the avoidable damage. The problem is there's just so much unavoidable damage on that fight, and that's what makes it a dick.
I know we're kind of off topic.
Oh, yeah.
But, was it Sunday? Sunday, I thought of a great way to change up the fight for us.
Okay.
And now that we're not going back, we're going straight into Blackrock, I kind of feel bad. But I'll definitely remember it for when we go back and finish up Heroic Heimo.
Mm-hmm.
But, so obviously. So on the fight, you know how range moves behind the suppression fields and the tank's supposed to go pick up the anomalies and then pull them towards range in the suppression fields so they're silenced?
Yes.
I almost wanted to just keep, instead of range moving back behind the suppression fields, to move where the tank needs to be. So everybody's just stacked on each other, and then we all move into suppression fields together.
You realize how much damage that would be?
Not a lot.
Everybody...
Considering when you're walking, you can pop Fox. You pop Fox, from a hunter, because we had like 3. You AoE the crap out of the anomalies while you're walking through, and you take 1 tick of damage from the suppression field, and it doesn't kill you. Or you do the same thing like Imperator does, and you gather them all up, and you pop and you bust all your cooldowns right then and there to keep everyone alive when you blow them up.
1 tick from the suppression field is still a lot of damage spread across your entire
especially-
raid.
You still survive.
If
we
you
really don't have much problems getting rid of the ads in the suppression thing, though. That's the thing.
The problem is getting them in there.
Spree,
It's getting them in there was our problem.
Yeah.
But once they were in there, we had no issues getting rid of them. It was very clean. The problem was, as mentioned, getting them in there. But if he, we did that. Everybody, all right, we take 1 tick from the suppression field, the whole raid, and he comes out with his shield and he throws the frost orb out, or he throws the shadow and we can't get healed.
No, he won't. Well, in that first initial one, he won't pop his
throw the fire.
expel frost, the frost orb. He won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the time of the fight.
I still think we should tank the 2 ads together on Imperator.
Oh my God! Shut up! No.
Moving right along from that.
It's a terrible idea.
Back to the main point. Ask Mr. Robot. Combat infographics. Great tools for raid leaders and for raiders. Lots of info. Can probably help you improve. It outright tells you where to how you can improve. Here's one thing. BlackRock Foundry's out, so we'll finally get our hands on our tier gear. Because, we've been raiding for how long now, and nobody's gotten any tier pieces. Because they're not available. But they are now available from LFR and Normal and Heroic and Mythic.
LFR's not out yet.
No, they're not.
Nor is Mythic.
Nor is Mythic, you're right. But they will be available. And the LFR set bonuses are different.
Right.
Than the other ones.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
Fine.
Okay.
I hate it.
No, I don't think it should be the same.
It
One is
shouldn't.
tourist mode and one is actually trying.
Okay, well now that we know that LFR is a tourist mode, yes, I can agree with that. But
Going pre-expansion, going into this, I was more upset about it than I am now. Because now, with how easy LFR is tourist mode, it's... Hell, the heroic 5-man dungeons are still harder than LFR.
I go in as a healer and I almost don't heal.
Oh yeah, you leveled another 2, and I was about to say, you're a rogue! How are you going
I
in
have
as
2
a
level
healer?
100 rogues and a level 100 druid, thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. Also in WoW news, Love is in the Air is back. Did you get your love rocket?
I don't want it.
He doesn't want it. Dumb.
No, I did not. That's why I leveled the 3 tunes. I haven't even gotten the toy yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything out of the bag except for love tokens.
I never see anything out of these holiday events, and
I already have the pet from last year. I have like the fumigator's mask. It's sitting in my my void storage or whatever somewhere. I've never seen that mount in every. This event's been out for how long?
years.
Since Wrath of the Lich King, I think they added.
This event itself since Wrath, yeah.
Yeah, I've done it every time on every day on every character I've had of level. I've never even seen the love rocket. I've never seen anybody in the group that I was in get the love rocket. The pet I've gotten a couple times over, but yeah,
That's a shame.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of love rockets, you know where I would like to see a love rocket mount? Heroes of the Storm is what I was getting at.
Okay.
Okay.
Good save.
Yeah, you horrible person. That'd be something they could put in during a future Valentine's event. But speaking of
You've
mounts,
already got a mount for Lunar Festival and Heroes of the Storm.
Love Rocket Valentine's event, Lunar
No.
Festival. Two separate things.
No, they're not. They're the same month.
Well, they are the same month. Anyway, what I'm talking about is the Magic Carpet. It will make its return to the shop soon in another bundle or standalone. I'm hoping standalone because I don't want to buy another bundle.
I want to buy another bundle because I'm missing 10 heroes, and the more heroes they put in a bundle, the happier I am. Because I want to have all the heroes. All of them.
It's gonna happen eventually. I'll have them all as well. I'll have every
Same.
skin and every mount. It's gonna happen.
So none of you can complain.
Eventually.
But the thing that I do like that they're adding with Heroes is one of those cross promotion things like they did for uh, Hearthstone, where they haven't given us the details on it yet. But I'm assuming it's gonna be play X amount of games or win X amount of games, just like Hearthstone was, and you're gonna get a Grave Golem pet in World of Warcraft. So
Now that's
Wait, for what?
pretty awesome.
for Heroes, play so many games of Heroes. Once the promotion goes live, you'll get a Grave Golem pet in World of Warcraft.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So as we mentioned before our intro, as I mentioned anyway, there was an interview with Dustin Browder by, I believe, PC Gamer magazine. Yes, it was PC Gamer. And he dropped a lot of info. Some of it we knew, some of it is new. It was just a generalized interview about Heroes of the Storm, and, certain things he answered, like, we already knew this. The goal of Heroes wasn't to make a casual game or an esports game. They just wanted something fun and something that was cool.
Shenanigans. You know they wanted to go after League of Legends and Dota 2. Stop pulling our leg.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they wanted to get into that genre, right? Clearly, because they made the game or whatever. But I really don't think their intention was, hey, let's make this game and overtake them, because it's not going to happen.
No.
Realistically, it's not going to happen. So they went the other route: is how can we make a game that's less competitive but more fun? And I think they achieved that very well.
And it's still equally competitive. So they won on both fronts. So there's just here's a quick few highlights, and then we can talk more about this whole interview. They're not sure when the Heroes is going to go into open beta or even release. They know there's stuff they want the game to have, and it's missing a couple of key features like a profile screen. You cannot look up,
Right.
player profiles. So that's a pretty big deal that needs to be put in the game. The score screen is going to be redone. Current is a placeholder. It needs some work.
Okay.
There needs to be some more info there.
Okay, I don't think it really went into details. Are we talking about the score screen after match or score screen during the match? Because both of them need to be redone.
They both need to be redone. I forget what I think. Was he talking about after match, I think, here?
Or either way, both of them need to be done.
Either way, both do need to be redone. The in-game score matches, how many kills you were present for, how many deaths, and then the damage you've done to heroes, the damage you've done to everything else, and healing. Which is all right.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the in-game score screen per se. I just think more people would care about seeing abilities first, other than how everyone's doing. Like for me, I hate hitting tab and having to collect view talents.
Mm-hmm.
The talents should be the first thing that pop up.
Yeah, it's easy to access, and it's there.
Well, it's there, but I mean, in the middle of a fight, I don't want to know how much damage I'm doing compared to my other people. I want to see what's on cooldown from the enemy team, who's got the coins.
Right.
If you're on Butcher Bay or Blackheart's Bay, Butcher Bay.
Butcher
Wrong
Bay.
game. Wrong game. And
Or is
I
it?
don't really
Maybe it's a new
care.
map coming out.
maybe.
Butcher Bay?
But I mean, I don't really care about what other people are doing. It's nice to see after match, but not during match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, a couple more quick tidbits. I know this is kind of boring. Sorry. They'll stop making heroes when they feel the time is right. That's not now.
Never. Could you just say never?
That's a thing that got me when I read that interview. I was like, they're gonna stop making heroes when they feel the time is right. That's something that even League of Legends, for how long that's been going on, still hasn't done. So, are they actually looking for a finite amount of heroes in Heroes of the Storm? I thought this was gonna be like League and Dota, where they're just gonna keep adding to it.
There are too many heroes in the Blizzard universe for them to stop adding heroes, and they've already said, once we get the main heroes from all of the franchises into Heroes of the Storm, they will start making their own unique heroes. So it's the whole them, we're gonna stop when we're done making heroes. That whole thing is just,
They can keep going forever.
yeah.
I want them to. I don't want them to stop.
I want them to keep going too. Actually, a couple of tidbits about that. There's currently, this is, Dustin Browder did say there's so it's not a finite number, an actual solid number, but there's supposedly another 6 heroes currently in development as of now.
Right.
And
Well, we already know what those. Well,
we are
We
relatively
know for the most part.
we know definitely Lost Vikings and Sylvanas. Those are 100%. Actually,
we already know what the 100% are.
we know the 100% are the Lost Vikings,
It's TOV.
Sylvanas, Kael'thas, Crusader from Diablo 3, Butcher, and then
We don't know.
the 6th one is up in the air.
We don't know what the 6th one.
Wasn't there like Asmodean or something?
He's in the game
Osmodean's
already.
Oh, they did put him. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't remember.
So, and from what, Twitter, because obviously I follow everyone from Blizzard or Blizz Heroes on Twitter, Sylvanas is coming out soon, and sooner than anybody actually expected. And when we discussed, who's coming first, TLV or Sylvanas, it's looking like Sylvanas is going to be the first one to come out before TLV.
And, we talked about this last week. TLV just seems like it's something that's harder to hit the sweet spot with.
I don't think they know how to quite balance them quite yet. So I think Sylvanas is a lot easier to balance. So she'll be the next one, because I'm pretty sure they're still working on how to properly balance TLV and not make them overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
I still would rather see the Lost Vikings before Sylvanas.
Well,
That's
you're
just
not the only one.
my preference. Yeah.
Yeah,
lot of
you're
people.
You're not the only one. Everyone, is saying, we've played TLV at BlizzCon. We know they're there.
Yeah.
Give it to us. But, Blizzard's going to say, well, he's not quite ready. He's not quite tuned right.
Right.
When Sylvanas is, and, they're still trying to stick to their 4 to 6 week content release. So, and if Sylvanas is ready, she's going to go out.
Right. And people want the Lost Vikings because they're that unique,
They
doesn't
are.
fit into any other category, just like Abathur and Murky. Those two are completely off-the-wall play styles. Lost Vikings, not as off the wall, but the fact that there's 3 separate ones and you can control all 3 individually, yeah.
But I mean, like, just
Extremely
because
high skill
Sylvanas
ceiling.
is done, and I guess the Lost Vikings too. It's kind of a coin toss, because you even look at, like, everybody's like, oh, Overwatch. Why isn't Overwatch out yet? We played it at BlizzCon. It was very polished. It was very playable, and they probably could have threw out an alpha that day, to be completely honest, and it totally would have been fine.
I can
But
already
they're
answer
not
that
comfortable
question.
where it's at. So
Well, no, I can already answer that question. And I agree with you. It's probably not where they want it, but it all comes down to release schedule of all their other products. They
Right.
don't want to take away from Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, stuff like that. When there's an open month, Blizzard does this all the time. When a game, another competitor announces something, they throw something out. If there's a month where Blizzard doesn't have anything going on, they're going to release, the alpha or beta for Overwatch.
All I know is if
I know people want to
Blizzard-
play it.
if Blizzard dare thinks that they are going to release a game on top of Kingdom Hearts 3, there's going to be a fight.
Nah, Kingdom Hearts isn't a competitor to Blizzard, so
It really isn't. It's not in the
Saying.
ballpark.
Just saying.
I mean, Overwatch will come out when it's time, when they really have nothing to go for, or when releases for their current games are out or have slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
If we continue to stick to a 4 to 6 week content release for Heroes, that's going to just be constantly pumping out content. Warcraft, not so much, because obviously they just did Black
Warcraft
Rock
is
Fountain
on.
now.
If they go on what they were doing with Mists of Pandaria early on, it was a 2 and then 4-month release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how they worked. So we're gonna get the minor patch 2 months, whatever. So November, December, January. We're already in February, but it's kind of they staggered the release of BlackRock, so they gave a little more time, because it's technically not new content, because it's been in the game. It just hasn't been accessible.
Right.
So I think that they intentionally staggered this to try to space out the rest of the expansion, so they have more time. Like, I'm now, the more that I think about it, we're probably not going to get this 6.1 patch until early March. That's my guess on that. And then
Sounds
2
like-
months after that, is probably when we're gonna get the next raid, next big content patch.
I can see, if the rumors hold true and the next expansion for Hearthstone comes out in April, Overwatch won't come out in April.
Right.
Overwatch will come out like the first month of quarter three.
Yeah.
Drop it in like
it's the
June, like they
it's
did
the summertime
with
slow. Yeah, with
Hero.
with
I mean, Hearthstone's beta.
yeah
Yeah,
with,
something
with
like that.
the video
Like
game
June
industry
or
going in
July.
its summer, hibernation with everything not happening. Releasing Overwatch for summer to beta would be perfect for them.
I have to agree. And as far as the 6.1, early March, I can definitely see. But I don't think we're going to see another raid for another 3 months at minimum after 6.1.
It'll be probably talked about, probably April.
Yeah, once 6.1
We'll have to see
drops,
something.
we'll start
It's gonna
getting some
I think it's gonna be about 4 months.
little bit of info. It could be, and you know what? I will happily eat my words if that's the case, because
How many bosses are in Blackrock?
10.
So we already have 3 more than we did in High
Mall.
Mall. So it's gonna take a little bit more time to clear this,
And-
and I think they anticipate that.
And we have an extremely drawn-out LFR release schedule. We don't get the final wing to fight Blackhand until March 24th.
Right.
So they have plenty of time, especially with staggering the releases. Which, again, I
It's a
really
smart
like it.
move, especially after what happened 3 years in a row now with content.
The final patch going in, Ice Crown was done. It went on forever. Oh, here, have Ruby Sanctum
went
to
on
hold
for
you
a
over.
year. Yeah.
Then Dragon Soul went on for an eternity. And then Siege of Orgrimmar went on for
A year.
I definitely think they
a lot
learned
more
their
than a year.
lesson.
14 months.
I definitely think they learned their lesson as far as releasing raid content. They're not just going, well, all the wings are open.
Yeah.
Now they're staggering it out so they don't have that whole year plus of an entire raid being open and getting farmed and stuff like that. Now, for the last raid, if it's 10 bosses, it could take a month and a half for them to open the entire thing.
What is your guys so Mythic opens what, next week?
Next week.
Yes.
What's your guys' prediction on when Mythic Blackrock is completed?
All right, so as far as the whole of Mythic
thing.
Blackrock, all 10 bosses, I want to say I always like to overshoot these. I do always overshoot these because I underestimate the free time on the hands of these guilds that do this. I'm going to say a week until all 10 bosses are done.
I'm going to say 3 days.
I'm gonna give them about 3 weeks.
Now, as far as all 10 goes, there may be that mythic boss that is an utter... Like, Blackhand might be down before another boss. Because,
That's what happened in High Mall.
yeah, a lot of people... They skipped
Butcher was
Butcher
dead
because... The Mythic Butcher fight, think about this. On Heroic, how Butcher is. How precise... the timing, how high the damage is, how high your healing needs to be with a 5-minute Berserk. Now, imagine adding in ads that run up to the boss... and then explode and leave behind a puddle. So you have to move and adjust to these new, little bubbly void zones that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nightmare, in my opinion. Especially with, that tight of a damage and healing requirement.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I can understand perfectly why they skipped that boss. Yeah.
I'll give them 3 days.
Weak.
I'm gonna say 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think Blackrock is gonna be handled in the first week. I don't.
It depends on how much harder. Like I said, Mythic.
Depends on how much the top guilds did testing.
There is that too. There's one more thing I want to go back to Heroes for. Something that was mentioned in the interview. The map editor is still
that got me
a
excited.
thing. Now, here's what Dustin Browder had to say about the map editor. They still want to do it, but there's a few hiccups that they need to work out. There's not an issue with the engineering,
It's the
but
art
with
assets.
and the policies involving
It's not
it.
even the art assets.
Right.
It's the fact that you can put copyrighted art
Yes.
assets in.
They can't allow a map to contain a copyright or can contain any content with copyright in it. In StarCraft, they would just ban your account if you broke the rules. Kind of hard to do with a free-to-play game. harder.
You mean I can't make my Super Mario themed map?
No, you can't. They need to figure out how they want to control them, and finishing the core gameplay experience is more important than the map editor in the team's mind. But he also says, I can't see a world where Team 1 doesn't get to releasing the map editor. There's too many people on Team 1 who love that stuff. We're way too passionate about it as a group. It's how the genre was invented.
It's coming out. It is.
It will be a thing.
The simple way to get by the art asset is to not let you import your own custom art assets. Give us
It's not that.
Give us a wide variety of assets that we can use, including stuff that's not currently in any of their maps.
It's not that, though.
Don't let any other ones be in there.
It's not that. You know, it is that, but it's not that. I can go into the StarCraft 2 editor and make a Mickey Mouse face in the shape of the map. You know, the terrain is the shape of Mickey Mouse's head. That's copyrighted. I get banned. That's what they're having issues with. There's not necessarily the art assets, which is an issue, but the fact that you can make your own terrain and stuff like that, that's where the issue comes in, to where, you know, oh, I made Mickey Mouse's head as my map.
Boobs.
Well, oops, you just got banned because that's copyrighted. You can't do it.
No, boobs.
You can get banned for that too.
Lots of boobs.
So, I mean,
Better than dick maps.
That's where they have to come in and think about it and say, okay, how do we handle this free-to-play model with also banning people that do that? You know, do you flag their account? You know, yes. Say Phil makes a Mickey Mouse map.
Yeah,
Which I know he won't, but you know, he does it and it gets caught. It gets flagged for copyright. Blizzard goes in and can literally just flag your account, and that account can no longer have heroes attached to it. You would literally have to go make a new Battle.net account.
Which would suck, because I have all of those heroes, skins, and mounts unlocked.
Yeah.
So then don't make a Mickey Mouse map. It's that simple.
There is that simple. Yeah, don't make a Mickey Mouse map. How would you even balance that map with lanes? It's 2 big ears and a face.
Yeah. It's fine.
So, I mean, it's just something that they have to take into account of how do they handle it. You know, obviously, you know, they can do it with StarCraft because StarCraft's a paid game. Yeah, I'm going to ban you. Now you have to literally go out and pay more money to start playing again. So you're just giving more money to Blizzard. With Heroes, in a sense, it's the same, but the game's free all the way. You know, so if I spend money on my heroes and stuff like that, and I get banned, that's on me. But you don't have to spend money on heroes. You can just play the game for however long and just buy heroes with gold. The only money
make a separate account and make a copyrighted map and let that account get banned.
There is that too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, you have to literally make another Battle.net account to start playing again. But you lose all that money that you just spent on your other account if you spent money on it. So I mean,
can you really get banned for making Mickey Mouse ears on a map though?
Disney is very, very protective of their copyrights.
Yes.
Yeah, but
it's Disney, yes.
I read a story where they sued someone for painting their child's walls. No, they painted the walls of their daycare with Mickey Mouse, you know, images, and Disney came in and sued that daycare. So,
welcome to Disney.
I don't have the exact article. I don't
Such
remember the details, but that was the gist of it. Yeah, such a magical place.
Like I said, to get down to it, it's just logistical stuff for the map editor. It'll eventually come out.
They have an army of lawyers. They could sue for everything. Yep. So, we have a slightly WoW topic Twitter question that we must cover here.
I don't want to answer it.
We haven't heard from Jake and Ader in a while.
Excellent, Jake.
Because, unfortunately, our live calls have been down due to a few technical issues on our end. As soon as we get them worked out, believe it, we will be taking live callers again. But Jake tweets in this. A friend of mine wants to ask if you guys ever think we would get more gender-equal equipment, such as this link, and it's very in a bikini.
I can't see anything past the.
Do you really want to?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't have a window set up for that.
It's very disturbing.
Is he nude below the waist?
No, he's not nude.
Might as
There,
well be.
we will resize it. There we go.
Oh. Dear.
So,
There's
because
tails
of
when you need
this, yes, whereas...
I can't unsee that now. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, so my question for Jake is, where did he find this, and why?
I don't know.
I'm done.
I don't see that as gender equal equipment. Gender equal is the same across all tunes, and the gear is exactly the same across all tunes and genders right now. So it is already extremely gender equal. I don't know why we need that. I don't know why I can't unsee that now.
Jake, we need to have a talk with this friend of yours. Chat's loving it.
I'm done.
We're all done.
I quit.
So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? What, now that we've made everybody just completely lose all faith in us?
They had faith in
I
us
still want to
begin
make my Super Mario Brothers Heroes map.
I would love to see that. They already have the gold coins assets in the game, Blackheart's Bay.
I'd make an underwater level.
I would hate you.
So this is more. This is more. This is more between me and Phil, because Zister, you really don't play Heroes anymore.
I play Heroes just fine. You know, you never invite me to groups anymore.
Exactly. Hero League.
Okay.
Thoughts on it so far, and what do you want changed? Is this I know you know somewhat of Hero League, but you haven't experienced it yet. I mean, you could still answer.
Okay, first off, Hero League. I like the draft pick because, you know, it allows you to pick your team and counter pick against the enemy team. Also, no duplicate heroes, because I do remember one match where I had an exact mirror match. Nova Zeratul, Gazlo, Muradin, and Malfurion. Both teams. So, that aspect I like. It is a slightly more pleasant experience in most cases, I have to say in most cases, than quick match, than versus. And usually people are smart enough to create a balanced team and not just 4 assassins and a specialist, like the random matchmaking gives you.
Oh, because that's what I heard you guys complaining about when you were making your group the other night. Is oh, we don't have a tank yet.
The thing...
Well, that's
more based on people, you know, working together. The thing that really annoys me in Hero League, nobody communicates. You'll get this one odd game where all 5 people are like, yeah, we're going to pick this is how we're going to do it, we're going to synergize this together, counter-pick that, we're going to do this, and then we're just going to go at it. And then you get these games where nobody says a damn word until the countdown. 5. Game starts in 5. 4. Oh, that was such a bad pick. Well, why didn't you fucking speak up 2 minutes ago?
Well, okay, so the
That's
one thing
what
that
I was
I've noticed in Hero League that's, you know, kind of killing it for me. I'm still having fun, I'm not raging anymore and stuff like that. The thing that really kind of baffles me is probably the best word I could pick is people go into Hero League and want to play what they want to play.
Yes.
They don't want to play what the team needs, and that's what I don't think people understand. Hero League is not about you and what you want. It's about the team and what the team needs. So if you want to play Vala and you're not the first pick, and you get first pick, sorry, if you're first pick and you get first pick, you better pick Vala if you want to play her. That way your team can create a team around her.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already going to get counterpicked when you pick Vala, because she's one of the strongest heroes in Hero League right now. So I mean, if you don't pick, if you don't get the right RNG, and Vala's gone, and you're like, well, I wanted to play Vala. Well, someone already picked it on your team, and you need a, healer or support. And you're like, well, I don't want to play support. I don't care what you want. What do you need? That's what I don't think people understand. What I think kind of kills it as well is there's not a swap.
Right. There's no swap feature right now.
So, like, if I'm first pick and we get first pick,
Yes.
which means we only get one pick for the first round. Phil, you're next, and okay, let's say Vala is not the first pick that you need to pick because she's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, she is. She's your number one pick if you get first pick. I don't care if you're the first pick or not. You're picking Vala. But if you're number one, and I'm next round, and you don't want to play Vala because you're not good with her, which I'm not saying that you are or not,
I know.
and I am. There's no way that you can pick her and give her to me.
Right.
You're stuck with her, and that's what sucks. And I think that's what needs to be.
That's,
added.
I think, something that they're going to add. I mean, they did say this is bare bones draft mode right now.
Yes, this is very bare bone. This is just something to give players. Well, I'm rank 1. Well, rank 1 doesn't really mean anything because there's a ton of rank 1s out there. Now, whether or not they go into it deeper, like the Hearthstone, where you get rank 1, and after you get through rank 1, you start going into legendary ranks. That's where they could probably take it. Yep. But I think that they need to add that ability to, and it's going to go against their whole logic of game time, because Snake Draft already adds to that 20-minute cushion that they like.
Only a couple minutes.
But in order, you need to have that 5 to 10 second window of before the game starts, after everyone picks their heroes for Hero League, to the ability to swap. So Phil, I've got Muradin, you've got Vala. Well, we're obviously going to swap because we're better on the other heroes.
Right.
So I mean, I think that needs to definitely be added. I think people also need to calm down. It's only a game.
It will be added. It's only a game. It's only beta. There still needs to be balance passes. But you mentioned Vala as the top pick. Any Hero League game you're going to go into, there's going to be a Vala. There's going to be a Stitches. There's going to probably be an Arthas.
And a Tychus.
And a Tychus. And a Witch Doctor.
Yep.
Those are like the 5...
That is the meta right now.
Those are the 5 ultra-strong picks. And then you're going to probably see... I mean, support-wise, you're going to see a Lily
and a
Brightwing, or Rhaegar, and an Uther.
Yep. I haven't seen Uther in a while.
I've seen a lot of Uthers.
I saw him a lot when I started, but I haven't seen him lately. I've seen a lot of Brightwing, a lot of Lily, and a lot of Malfurion and Tyrande for some reason, which I was like, why? Which is kind of really weird.
It all depends on, your picks and stuff like that. But there are a couple of heroes that aren't picked very often because...
But I mean, that's literally.
I play Jane.
I don't own Stitches right now, so I mean, that's literally. I'm literally thinking in the store. I'm like, what's my next hero going to be? Well, I don't have Stitches, and Stitches is like a must-have for Hero League. So literally, it's if you're in Hero League and you don't have all the heroes, you're literally going through and trying to pick the next hero you're going to buy, not based off of what you want to play, but what you really need for Hero League. Mm-hmm. So, like, I want to play Osmodan. Kinda, but...
You need a comp to
Stitches.
Support him. Yeah, Stitches is so good right now because he is that hard initiation tank. Because he has the hook. He can pick, a good hook picks one member straight off the, pack of 5 of them. You kill that one member, now you're in a 5v4. Yeah. You instantly have the advantage.
It's not necessarily what you... Now it's no longer, now that you're in Hero League, it's not what you want to buy and play, it's what you need to play Hero League.
Mm-hmm. And more balance passes will obviously make that better, but I can't see Stitches not being a top pick ever.
Murky is a must-have.
Murky is used not in solo queues, but I've seen like groups of 3 and 4 using him as a counter pick to I forget who. But he's
a good counter picker because I've seen Trixler play with him a lot in Hero League. Not necessarily in solo queue, but with, like you said, a team. And he's still Murky is still really good.
Great for Cursed Hollow.
Yes, he is extremely good. He's not weak like everybody thinks he is. And doesn't understand how his mechanics work, stuff like that. He's still very viable.
That army of Murlocs alone is enough to keep people off that node.
That, yes, and his Octograb is so amazing now because it's just a flat 3-second stun.
Well, I mean, and I wasn't in Hero League, I don't think. I think I was in Quick Match last night. And I literally saw the push build for Murky for the first time since he got reworked.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that since he got reworked. It's always been Assassin Murky where he's got the Octograb.
Right. Push build is
And
still good, but
it is.
Assassin is currently
It's better.
better. So.
And people on my team are getting mad at Murky because that's all he was doing was pushing. I'm like, that's his build. I'm like, that's what he went with for his build. He's built for that. That's what he's supposed to be doing. So we are in a 4v5 team fight. We need to pick our fights
more carefully.
Yeah.
But
More
you're going to
carefully.
have that one lane pushed into the core
Yes.
before you realize it.
And that's what that's what new players who are getting in the beta need to understand is like Abathur and Murky, those are two different types of heroes. They
Yeah.
play
Completely
different.
different.
You're not going to have them in team fights. So
And
technically,
they're going to play
opponent
different game to game as well. They're not going to
Yes.
play the same way every
Yes.
game.
Exactly. They're going to adapt. They can adapt to what you
Right.
have and what they have. But you also got to realize that push build Murky, they then have to send somebody to deal with you.
yes.
Because a
So
fort and a keep
so
are
now-
worth a lot of experience.
now you're down to 4v4 in the team fight. So I mean,
Right.
it's not necessarily that. Well, it is necessarily that, but then you also got to think about they've always got one person looking for Murky's egg.
If they're
Always.
smart.
If they're smart, they've got someone looking for it, and if the Murky's smart enough, he's got it in a good hiding space.
Oh, if he's smart enough, he's moving it constantly.
Yes, but I mean that's another thing you got to realize is those 5v4 fights may not be 5v4 now because you've got someone. They have to have someone go after his egg to find it, or he's just going to come back
And see,
and
that's
keep pushing.
a good counter to Murky or Abathur is, I mean, it's not a great counter,
stealth.
but a stealth, a Zeratul, because he can blink over the wall, find them, and then wait for his blink cooldown to come off, come off cooldown, kill the Murky or the Abathur, the egg or the Abathur, and then blink back over the wall and they're safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it takes them out of the fight. They're not available for team fights, but a Murky without his egg is...
A dead Murky.
He's a dead Murky. He's practically, that kills half of his...
Push because now
Yeah,
he can't push anymore. Now
yeah,
he's got to go
push, that's
hide,
the word I'm looking
which is
for.
impossible for him to do because he's visible for the next 20 seconds.
Why does everybody insist on making Murky omelets?
Murky omelets are delicious. And a dead Abathur means he's utterly useless. No more Locust, no more support, no more anything.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing. I've been seeing Abathur out in lanes quite a bit in Hero League, and I'm not quite sure. I understand why.
It's an odd one. You wouldn't pick an Abathur unless you had a pre-made group, because Abathur into a solo queue,
It's stupid.
it's not stupid. You just gotta pray that the group knows what they're doing. Which
Meaning
Yeah.
it's stupid.
you're gonna get
Meaning most of the time it's not going to work.
one out of every 10 games it'll work out, maybe.
Yeah.
But Hero League, it's going to evolve. Things are going to change.
It's gonna be interesting when Team League comes out.
Yeah, this is the first pass. Just got to give them time. But two quick things to mention that came up while we were talking about that. First, I was reminded, I can't believe I forgot this, there's a new Recruiter Friend mount coming soon. I don't...
Cindermane Charger, right?
Oh, the Cindermane, yeah. Is this it?
No.
That's not it. There's this mount, which I
This
was...
is not Recruiter Friend mount.
No, that's not the Recruiter Friend mount. What is this mount from?
We don't
We
know.
don't know yet.
Right, exactly. We don't know.
I'm
This-
assuming
oh!
it's an in-game store mount.
No, do you know what this mount is?
Huh.
I just thought of it. You know that little contest that they're doing to get level 100s on Horde and Alliance?
Yeah.
Get a free mount.
This is the in-game store... What? Okay.
You get a mount if you've got so many level 100s on Horde and Alliance, right? That's the contest. You get to pick a mount out of the store.
Not for Blizzard.
Oh.
Blizzard's not doing anything like that. That's a
Well, if they
skill.
were, this would be perfect for that shit.
Ah, you're crazy. But yeah, it would be perfect for that shit. But it is an in-game store mount. It looks pretty cool. I don't have a picture currently, unfortunately, of the Cinder mount. Maybe somebody
The Cinder Mount,
Getting it now.
it's a flaming horse.
It's a flaming horse. There it is, the Cindermane Charger. I got it.
It looks like the Pegasus.
It looks like Invincible, except it's on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about it.
I mean, it looks like the one that was released for Hearthstone.
There we go.
So.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
I like
Why is it
that.
gotta be Recruiter Friend? Because I actually want this one.
Yeah, and it comes with an achievement.
Of course it does.
If you get that, you'll get the achievement. What is it? Friends in places yet even higher than that.
I love that. The other thing that came up, this is posted on Twitter of Elvine, if you've ever heard of him. Goldmaker, does other things.
Mm-hmm.
If the selfie wasn't enough, PTR Wowhead, it's an item called the Photo Bomb.
They took my idea.
Add some company to your selfie pictures.
They took my idea.
And the question...
They're also doing an achievement with the selfie camera called Field Photographer, and it gives you a list of places in which you have to take selfies, including Onyxia's Lair, the Dark Portal, Gurabashi Arena, Naxxramas, Stormwind, and Orgrimmar.
I like it.
Maelstrom, different places like that. So you could add the photo bomb with it.
They took my idea.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Is there anything else, gentlemen?
And another note is anyone who completed the Victory in Hillsbrad achievement, they are retroactively awarding you a mini Hogger pet called Hogs.
Oh, Hogger! Yay!
Only way to achieve
Did
that
Phil
is
get it?
if
Did
you
Phil get his
completed the
title?
10th anniversary battleground.
Phil, did you get your title?
No.
You didn't get your title. You don't get a Hogger pet. I got a Hogger pet. Yay!
I warned you, Mike. I warned you.
See?
I know.
I got a Hogger pet. That's like the greatest thing ever.
That would have been
Hogger.
nice.
Oh, Hogger's the 6th hero being worked on for Heroes of the Storm.
Oh,
Calling it
God.
now. Calling it now. It's Hogger.
Hogger.
If they do Hogger, they have to do Gammon too.
They do.
They've already said they're.
Gammon will save us.
He's gonna be in there, but I sidetracked. Sorry, because Hogger popped in my head, and I'm like, that'd be a perfect hero.
I know there's gonna be a fury of people pissed off that they didn't get Hogger and all that. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Halinka's already stated that the battleground is something, the Hillsbrad battleground is something he'd like to bring back every anniversary and not necessarily for the 10th one. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're still going to be able to get it next year.
I hope so. If I knew there was a pet involved, I would have done it.
You should have done it anyways. Dude.
I
Just
don't care about titles.
Mm-hmm.
You should have done it for the nostalgia.
I did do it a couple times. I just didn't win.
Well, whose fault is that?
The Horde in our battle group.
Nope. It was
Won.
your fault for not being persistent enough.
We won.
Being persistent enough.
I don't know what you're talking about. We won.
That's our show.
Obviously
How's
won
that?
too.
But yeah, really, that's our show. We could go on all night, but we're not going
We will.
to. We may. Cody, you and your lovely background, where can they find you?
My lovely background. She's coming.
By the way,
Yes.
I know she's coming. Did you make use of the sale at Michael's for frames?
I did. Well, not really. Not really. No, not really. I didn't get custom frames. I bought other frames.
We've been torturing for 2 weeks on this, and he actually went to Michael's and got frames.
Hooray! It worked.
Kinda.
Kinda. Just kinda. So you can find him on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter, King Heels with a Z. You can find me right after the show at my Twitch page, twitch.tv/KingHeels. The road to rank 1 starts up again.
What rank are you now?
42.
Okay. Dom.
Find me there, here,
Everywhere.
XIZTA with an underscore at the end on Twitter. You can also find me on the ASO TV podcast on YouTube /ASO TV podcast. Podcast for many of your favorite TV shows. Walking Dead comes back this week, so
Ooh.
we will be covering that on Monday. Give you guys, at least about 24 hours or so to have watched it, so we avoid immediate spoilers and stuff like that. But yeah, we finally just got around to recording our Doctor Who Christmas episode last night, so we're a little late on that one, but we're staying good. And you can actually also find these podcasts on youtube.com/deadzista, where I just released my very first Let's Play series, where I did the Oregon Trail with your wife.
Yeah,
Mike,
with my wife.
and your friend Cleo. And both also do the ASO TV podcast with us. And the first 4 episodes are up, which is a complete playthrough of one place from the start to maybe Oregon if we all made it. I don't want to spoil it for you. But episode 5, I'm going to release that tomorrow with a speed run of the Oregon Trail. Straight through, no stopping. I don't care if anybody caught dysentery, exhaustion. We're not resting. There's no hunting. It's straight through. We're just booking it straight to Oregon.
You can find me on Twitter at Thilladrin, also where he mentioned As Seen on TV podcast. And yeah. I don't know what else was to say. Oh, you could also find us on US Turalian Horde side in the Guild Silent Chaos. We are officers or GMs in Cody's case, and raid leaders and stuff like that, and we have a lot of fun.
It's a douchebag.
If you're interested in a fun, welcoming environment where we raid 2 days a week, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, look us up on, what is it? silentchaos.guildlaunch.com? WoWlaunch.com. I'm sorry. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can find us here every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Do.
No!